Get some proper darkness into your diet. This past week, I've had multiple encounters, two specifically, with two ladies that shared their struggles with chronic insomnia with me, which is essentially not being able to properly fall asleep, stay asleep, like some form of struggle during the nighttime with the human system not properly turning off. And I thought, okay, as much as there might be some form of emotional root cause for this entire thing, or like even spiritual urgency of reconnecting with source during the nighttime, there's a quite a simple yet profound biomechanical component to this as well that I think is of highest relevance for everybody at this point in time in the world, especially with the use of technology, computer, lots of screen time that we have. And that is the connection that exists between me as a biological being made out of cells and hair and bones and tissue, and the natural world, especially sunlight. So the key component here is to get some proper darkness into your light diet. If you have a look at this graph right here, I stumbled upon that in my social media feed. It's just showing you two curves here. The first curve is actually indicating how much light there is during the sunset times versus how much light on average there is in most of the modern day homes. And as you can see, with that strong decline in modern day light environments, we see that there's actually an excess of available light that will highly likely hit our eyes and hit our skin in our homes. Both eyes and skin have light receptors. Just to keep the science behind this a bit brief and simple, if light hits my eye and light hits my skin, my body starts to get that stream of information, which then cascades and trickles into all kinds of rhythmic quality inside of my being. As everything in nature out there, you can hear the birds in the morning and you can start to hear the cicadas or the frogs in the evening time. If you're living on the countryside, you will see that all animals, whatever living organism there is out there, has some form of connection to light exposure and has created a natural rhythm in accordance to how much light exposure there is. Some animals work at night, some animals work during the daytime, but all that we, like even plants, all that we have in common is that there's a certain type of rhythm in life which is governed by light. In Chinese medicine, there's a quite well-known kind of clock in which it's documented how the organs inside of the human body are governed by time as well and by light as well, in the sense that there are certain organs that are more active during the nighttime, like the liver and the lungs, and then there are certain organs that kickstart us in the morning, like the spleen, the transformative organ. So there's actually like some prime times in the governance of our own body that like, let's say there's a prime time for eating food, there's a prime time for rest, there's a prime time for creativity, there's a prime time for procreation. Everything that all of these different elements and aspects of a human life actually have a rhythm to it in which it can flower the best, let's say. Like not every plant will shoot blossoms all year round. There's a specific time for a flower to blossom or for fruit to drop, and there's a specific time for the plant to contract itself back into hibernation. And so is it with us. Every single day there's a specific time to wake up, there's a specific time to get sleepy, a specific time to fall asleep. But if this internal rhythm, which is essentially created by harmonizing with our external environment, especially with light exposure, if we bring artificial lights into the story, which has been the past 100 years, creating the light bulb, suddenly it cascaded into smartphones that we have 24/7, shooting artificial LED blue lights into our system, which starts to disrupt the internal harmony. And to bring it to a point here, stuff like chronic insomnia, sleepless nights, or even chronic illnesses in which, let's say, we have more like cancer type of illnesses in which the cell of the body itself doesn't quite understand anymore when to die, when to let go, when to dissolve back into the system. That's like a prime example of when the biological rhythm and time has been disrupted to a degree in which the cells of the body don't even know how old they are and how old they are in context to the rest, and how they're supposed to feed themselves back into the system as one constant flow, like one constant rhythm, one inhalation and then one exhalation as well. So we can see that constant exposure to light is essentially being trapped in a constant inhalation state, like wakeful, 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 wakeful. The key is bringing darkness back into your life, bring darkness back into the light diet. And that is easier said than done, because we're just constantly bombarded with information, with stimulus, and we might have even habituated ourselves to the amount of stimulus so that we're kind of craving to watch Netflix when it's dark in the evening, or have that last scroll, and etc., etc. So how to get more darkness into your diet? Simply cutting out as much artificial light as possible as soon as it's dark. One way could be turning off lamps and replacing them with candles. Another one could be this stylish guy here. Blue light blockers. These guys are designed to filter out you can even see the blue reflection on the glasses here. These guys are designed to filter out any blue light coming into our eyes. These ones block out 100% of blue light. As soon as that beautiful sunshine is gone, these guys are on. Even when I drive my car, I put them on and don't have these like annoying LED lights from other cars harassing my beautiful eyes. Highly recommend to check out this whole topic of circadian rhythm, biological time, the rhythm from the Chinese element, the 5 elements theory, and how the internal clock is being governed in our organs, and get yourself a small biomechanical upgrade inside of our body by reconfiguring yourself with sunlight. If sunlight is not available, cold exposure is the answer, but that's a whole nother topic for potentially another video. Getting cold and shivering when there's no light is actually the key to generating your own light. But yeah, just to scratch the surface on that one. I hope this was a great reminder for you, and I hope it helped. I hope it gave you some idea of like, oh yeah, there is actually such a thing as rhythm in my life. Or maybe there is not enough, or maybe there's a disrupted rhythm in my life, and this is like something to think about. How much light do I allow in? How much darkness do I allow to draw out? And yeah, I hope it helps. Have a beautiful time.